Good morning once again, and thank you for staying tuned to Sunrise at Sea right here on CTV. Welcome to the Twitter Jabs too. My name is Apollo Sarah, and today we are continuing the conversation on the Uganda National Teachers Union announcement of their industrial action against discriminatory salary enhancements that began on Wednesday, 15th June 2022. And they say that they're doing this because it is unfair that only one sector of teachers had their salaries increased. They went on to say, stay home and mobilize others to act because all teachers matter and therefore deserve an increment. In studio with me is Mr. Elong Vincent, and he's the national chairperson of the Uganda Professional Science Teachers Union. And right next to him is Mr. Richard Mwebaze, and he's the Legal and Labor Relations Officer of UNATO. That is the Uganda National Teachers Union. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Sarah.
And thank you for joining me on the show.
Thank you for hosting us.
Mr. Long, this is not your first time here. The last time
Yes.
you were here, you were demanding that government stick to its promise to increase the salaries of science teachers, which they did and provided for in the national job. Scientists in that was increased in the national budget. So congratulations. I hope that you're happy.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yes, your agenda was achieved. And good morning, Mr. Mwebaze.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. Let me take this opportunity to greet the viewers of CTV
Yes.
and most especially the teachers of this country that have really made all of us. And they also send greetings from the Office of the General Secretary, Uganda National Teachers Union.
Yes.
And also inform the teachers that please, the industrial action is still on and we are still on course.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Long, I'll start with you. Let's first start with your thoughts about after government. Let's start from there. After government approved and actually put provisions in the national budget to increase the salary of scientists, teachers inclusive, what are your thoughts and how do you feel about that currently, right now?
Also, let me take opportunity to greet Ugandans.
Yes.
And thank CTV for giving us opportunity.
Yes.
Always to project the views of teachers.
Yes.
Which I think it has paid off.
Yes.
Our industrial action, I think we started it in after different engagement which we tried stemming from 2019.
Yes.
To date, it even led to the registration of a new union with the government.
Yes.
So we started it to push government to listen. And I think it paid off. Because last year, it was not us who pushed. Government came clearly.
Yes.
Through a presidential directive and said effective financial year 2022-2023, July, all scientists, the graduate scientists, would be paid 4 million.
Yes.
And a diploma 3 million. So it was captured, and as financial, the budgeting process was progressing, we are trying to observe how it is progressing. So in Feb, Ministry of Public Service prepared a salary structure, and we were captured. We were given 139 billion, those in education sector.
Yes.
But as things reach April, that money was diverted. We confirmed it from government that it was diverted and taken to enhance salary, to boost more the salary enhancement in health sector. Yeah. So we saw that was unfair because in 2018, the similar thing happened. The money that was meant to enhance salary for science teachers and those in education sector was also diverted, and we are seeing a repeat. So we only had two things. Do these people treat us as scientists or lesser scientists? And we wanted that answer from government.
Okay.
And we wanted the head of state to be the one to tell us that you people, you are not scientists, so that we get back to work as humanity. But they maintained we are scientists. Then we said, if we are scientists, then you must treat us as what?
Scientists, yes.
And we are glad that the message sank deeper, and government has taken it up and enhanced our salary. So we are very grateful to His Excellency. We knew that there were a lot of obstacles in the middle there. The technical people didn't want it. They would not imagine teachers earning 4 million. But I want to tell my colleagues in the art department, we wish you well. And
you wish them well.
The achievement of science teachers is a victory for teachers, because the attitude people had on teachers, that ceiling has been broken. So the sky is now the limit for teachers.
Yes. All right. So, Mr. Long, I just want clarity. You said in 2018 you started these negotiations with government. Was it under the Uganda Professional Science Teachers Union, or was it under Uganda National Teachers Union? Because in 2018, UNATO did have conversations with government for a joint collective bargaining salary increment for all teachers, not just one sector, all teachers. So which is which? Is it for Uganda Professional Science Teachers Union or Uganda National Teachers Union? When you talk about, you said the union.
Very good.
Yes, I want just need you to clarify which one that was.
In 2018, there was a directive first.
Yes.
To enhance salary for scientists. The same directive to a graduate scientist to 2.2 million and the diploma 1.2. And it was a general directive. It didn't come from the unions. But we were surprised the union which we are under, that is UNATO, opposed it. The similar way they are trying to oppose this one. Opposed it, and because we are not there, they succeeded in knocking down salary for science teachers. And we were left at 1 million, and our fellow scientists moved from 1 million to 2.2. So that has been the struggle. From there we started the struggle. We tried to talk to them, please allow us get the money. But they said, no, all teachers are equal, they must receive equal pay. But I can tell you, we have policemen, I think I stressed, who are scientists, and those who are not scientists. And those who are scientists are being enhanced as scientists. They're getting salary. We have UPDF, we have people in local government who has studied the same thing. Same university, same time. But when it comes to salary enhancement of scientists, there's already that difference. And even public service have created a different salary structure for scientists from that of humanity. It is already there. So you can't talk of equal work or same when the salary structure has already been separated.
So you're not equal to arts teachers. That's what I'm.
We do different work because you can't say somebody training doctors is the same as the other one teaching people how to draw pictures. We do different work. Okay.
Okay, I will keep my sentiments to myself. So, Mr. Mwebaza, your thoughts. Do you think it is fair? Because I want your honest opinion. What are your thoughts on what is happening right now?
Thank you very much. Before I give my thoughts, I want to categorically state that my brother Vincent Erong is very ungrateful.
How so?
To Uganda National Teachers Union. And I went to equate his ungratefulness to the teachings in the Bible.
All right.
In the Bible, in the book of Deuteronomy, where God told Moses to deliver the Israelites to the promised land.
Yes.
And told them that when you have crossed and you have reached, when you have built very good houses, when you have got wealth, don't forget where you have come from.
Yes. They
have forgotten. The money which my brother Erong is now proud of to have received from government was not negotiated by his union. It was negotiated by the Uganda National Teachers Union.
Yes.
That is why I'm saying it's very ungrateful. Actually, my brother, you should be very grateful. Why am I saying you are very ungrateful? I'm saying you are very ungrateful because in 2018, Uganda National Teachers Union and as all public service labor unions, through the negotiation council, entered into what we call a collective bargaining agreement.
Yes.
In that collective bargaining agreement, the part of government was represented by the then head of Public Service and Secretary to Cabinet, Mr. John Mitara, and the respective unions were represented by respective general secretaries.
Yes.
A discussion discussions were on, consultations were on, and we agreed that there should be a pay rise to all civil servants in the financial year 2018-2019, 2019-2020, 2021-2022, 2022-2023. And why I'm saying my brother and his group, they are ungrateful. Even the money we negotiated, the science teacher is supposed to get is not what they are going to get. That is why they should even come to us and say, you people, you negotiated a big cut, we have got a less cut. How do we actualize exactly what you negotiated for? I came with records here that show how much a teacher is supposed to earn.
Yes.
And what I'm talking about here is in black and white. This is a copy of the collective bargaining agreement, which we signed in 2018.
Yes.
And in this collective bargaining agreement, it was signed between government and respective unions. But my interest is on the figures that teachers were supposed to earn. I would allow me to go through these figures for the viewers to know exactly what we are talking about. We negotiated and agreed that in the financial year 2022-2023, a principal of a comprehensive school NTC is supposed to earn 12,200,000. Principal PTC, deputy principal, and NTC, they are supposed to earn 10 million.
Yes.
Head teacher secondary, 10 million. Deputy head teacher secondary, 7.4 million. Science teacher at the principal level, 7.8 million.
Yes.
Do you hear that, my brother, wrong? Science teacher at the senior level, 6 million. Arts teacher, 5.4 million. Science teacher at the graduate level, 4.8 million. U4 arts teacher, 4.5 million. Science teacher at the diploma level, 3 million. Arts teacher at the U5, 2.7 million. Head teacher primary, 4.5. Deputy head teacher primary, 2.7. Senior education assistant, 1.6. Education assistant, 1.35. Non-formal education teachers, these are trial terms, they were supposed to earn 500,000. This is in the collective bargaining agreement which we negotiated with government. So, the reason why I'm saying that my brother is ungrateful, the presidential directive came as a result of this collective bargaining agreement. This is where it comes from. It didn't just come. And that's why I'm saying that they have forgotten. They have reached not knowing who has led them to this promised land.
Yes. Mr. Mwabaza, before I come to you, Mr. Elong, I just want to... oh, yes. Okay, proceed.
Still, what are we saying as Uganda National Teachers Union? This is very, very important. What we are saying is that let government implement the agreement the way we agreed. We agreed on these figures. These figures, my brother, they didn't just fall from heaven. They were negotiated and agreed to. So what we are saying is that let government implement a collective agreement across all sectors of the economy.
Yes.
Across all the teachers. But what government has done, what we are against, is government to pull out a certain section out of the collective bargaining agreement and say, for you, we are giving you the salary increment in accordance with the CBA, but this group can wait. That is what we are against. And in this agreement that we signed with government, it categorically states that there should be non-discrimination in the salary increment. And it states that in the case there is a dispute, the dispute is supposed to be resolved in accordance with the recognition agreement, which we signed with government some years back. And it says that if there is a disagreement, workers are free to withdraw their labor. Actually, when you use the word strike, we look as if we are very rebellious. We look as if we are very what? The word, the real word in the sense of it is that we have withdrawn our tools.
Yes.
Until government meets our demands. So I want to call upon our brothers who are in the science sector that please don't forget where you have come from.
Yes.
It is the Uganda National Teachers Union that has led them to that promised land. Now they have built very good houses, they have built bought very good cars, they have got all the wealth. They are now looking at us as people who are against their interests.
Before I come to you, Mr. Long, I just want to ask you a question, Mr. Mwebazai.
Yes, please.
You said the agreement, negotiations for the agreement started in 2018. But since 2019, when you did give government a 90 days ultimatum to respond, and they did not, that was the last time we had UNATO come out to, again, hold government responsible for the things that they said, that they were going to increase all teachers' salaries. But since then, nothing. 2020, nothing. 2021, nothing. 2022, nothing. So one of the biggest questions that people have been asking, especially on social media, is that why now, after the science teachers, or rather the scientists got their increment, why weren't you as vocal and aggressive when they were chasing for an increment?
My sister, what you need to know is that when we signed this agreement in 2018, in 2019, government did not honor this agreement.
Yes.
And we went on industrial action.
Yes.
When we went in industrial action, we met His Excellency the President, and we agreed that the agreement should be implemented in the manner and in the way it was signed with all the teachers. If I recall very well, I attended the meeting with His Excellency the President, and that's what we agreed. On the issue of saying that we are coming up right now, it's not true. We all know what has been happening in the last 2 years.
Yes.
When the schools were closed because of COVID-19. So we could not come during the time when the kids are at school, nobody is working, all sectors of the economy are closed, and then you are demanding for salary increment. That's not, it wouldn't look civil.
Yes.
So, the issue of saying that we have waited for the budget process to be completed for ABCD, in my view, doesn't hold, because my brother here from the Science Theatre, they have been on strike before.
Yes.
Going on an industrial action is not a one-day event. They are what we call pre-industrial action preparations.
Yes.
They are what we call statutory legal requirements that you must comply with before you go for an industrial action. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you risk your members being blamed for not following the law.
Yes.
So, all these, when we do our cycle, like I've told you, it's not an event. It really culminates into having an industrial action at this time.
All right.
And we trust and believe, and we want to call on government to please understand and implement the salaries of all teachers across the board in a way they were negotiated. And I want to ask my brother here that if they were really in the true sense of negotiation, they would actually be calling government, they would join us also in calling on government to give them what we negotiated for them. They have not got exactly what we agreed that they should get. But even the little that they have got, they are flying high with it, not knowing that there is a very well-written agreement that gives them even what is more.
Let me respond to that thing of agreement. I want to respond.
Okay, while you respond, I would like you to also answer this. Did you get support from UNATO? Did the Uganda Professional Teachers Association Union, I beg your pardon, Uganda Professional Science Teachers Union get support from UNATO?
When?
He says that.
That from 2018?
Yes.
Okay, let me respond. First of all, my brother is a senior lawyer, and I really have great respect for him. A CVA is referring to, you know, I'm a member of National Consultative and Negotiating Council.
But you joined recently.
Yes. I know the loophole in that CVA. You will pick a copy.
All right.
That CVA came after His Excellency the President had already made a directive.
That's not
true. He called, it is very true, you can Google. Even that information was captured by Monitor. This CBA was signed in 2018. In December, I'm quoting again, in December 2017, His Excellency, the President, invited all the teachers in his State House. And one of the things that came out, he told them, we are going to enhance salary for scientists. 2017, not 2018, 2017. We are going to enhance salary for scientists in financial year 2018. That was in December. A science teacher would get 2.2 million. He quoted very well. And an art teacher, a diploma, at a diploma level, would get 1.75 million. And he told ed teachers that you, the head of institution, we are going to increase your salary slightly above that of a science teachers. Now, these brothers of ours from UNATO, they have really fought science teachers.
No, that's not.
When they heard about that, they team up with other labor unions. And they started doing the same thing they are doing now. They pushed in the council.
No,
and it's through the negotiation, quoting discrimination. Let me finish. Let me finish my submit. Let me finish. I gave you time. I gave you time.
Let him finish.
Let me submit. Let me submit. So through the same council, because they were sitting there, and the head of public service sits there, they pushed this propaganda of negotiation through other labor unions. And they are doing the same thing. They have organized some of those labor unions. We know that we have that information. And I was in the council the other Wednesday. I know what transpired there. This CBA was to counter the salary enhancement of scientists.
Yes.
Now, what government did, which you are going to prove, I don't know whether they agreed, but the key people, and my brother, the lawyer, should not be running with this document. The key people who are supposed to sign this document didn't sign. Government signed. First of all, the head of public service didn't sign. You will show us.
He signed.
He did not. Mitala's signature is not there. Two, the minister of the permanent secretary, Minister of Finance, did not sign that document.
He doesn't have to
and
sign.
He left a comment. No, he's the one supposed to give money. He's the one supposed to give the financial implication. Three, the Solicitor General, who is supposed to look at the legality of the terms in that, did not sign that document. And then this document was supposed to be registered. Is it registered? What makes a CBA? All the stakeholders must sign, and then it is registered, then you can stand on. But to run with such an illegal document, and you a lawyer on a studio, I think it is because while we were at the council meeting, I want to state it very clear. All this labor union who signed that document, we are negotiating with the government. Please sign what? Government put it very clear. They reported to them the loophole in the document that was cited by the Minister of Finance and Solicitor General. Because for them, this document can't be implemented when it is not fully signed, because it is the union. When we sign, we agree with you, and you sign a document and I don't sign.
My brother.
Do you still push for the implementation?
My brother.
But there is some backing to what Mr. Long is saying, because in 2019, the Secretary General, that is Mr. Baguma Philbert, did say that he went on to say that they had exhausted all possibilities of negotiation since the beginning of 2018, but some government officials had deliberately frustrated the process. And as a result, that is why UNATO gave government 90 days ultimatum to respond and to honor the negotiations and agreements. If not, they would go on strike, and that happened on the May of 20th, 2019. He went on to say that some government officials did not sign the agreement, the collective bargaining agreement, because they were
up to date, and that was the talk in the council. It doesn't sit in the council.
I want to set the record.
You don't sit in the council.
Exactly. I want to set the record very clear. My brother, you are calling the CBA an illegal contract.
No, it's not illegal, but it is not completed.
Okay, you are saying
and it has expired.
You are saying
because it is supposed to expire in July.
Yes.
That's why they are panicking.
Excuse me.
And they could not follow it, even following
If
the
I could
full
respond.
Signing.
Yes.
If
They
I could,
didn't
if
do.
I could,
They
All right,
slept for four.
I want to
Let him
I want
respond.
to educate my brother. It's good he admits.
But also comment on the expiring of
this is what
and
I'm-
why you did not.
This is what
you
I'm-
did not follow it from the time you
Mr.
signed.
Long, let Mr. Mweva say and
Please.
respond. Yes.
It's good he admits I'm a senior lawyer.
Yes.
My brother, you have said this contract was not signed by head of public service.
Yes, I want to see it.
I want
to confirm.
show to the public
Because I know
that this contract was signed by
open
the head.
the part of
Yes,
is there.
yes, that is what I'm doing for you. What we are doing, my friend, is not falling from heaven. These things are in black and white. I want to tell you the signatories of this agreement. When you see here, I want, if the cameraman can zoom.
Is it possible for us to zoom in?
Mitala parties there is not signed up.
No, Dr. John Mitara. This
where
is where you are
supposed to sign.
position head of public service secretary to cabinet. Agreement fully signed by the head of public service and secretary to cabinet.
But in the council they say
Excuse me, let me
didn't
respond.
sign.
No.
And the copy I have,
You have inaccurate
and
information.
anybody can put that.
No, excuse me, let me finish.
All
Let me
right.
finish. You see, the
document which is
Mr.
there,
Long, let
Mitala
Mr.
didn't
Mweva
Give me a
sign.
chance.
It
Let
is
Mr.
only the permanent secretary
Give me a
of
chance.
public
Give
service
me
who
a
signs.
chance.
All
my
right, let
brother.
Mr. Mweva respond.
I want to tell him the real facts. The negotiations, when you are negotiating any deal with government in the form of a collective bargaining agreement, the head of public service is the principal representative of government. And the moment the principal signs on behalf of government, that is a binding agreement between the parties that are negotiating the collective bargaining agreement, as long as it is witnessed by the chairperson negotiation and consultative council, that one becomes a binding agreement. Now, you come to the issue of Solicitor General. Solicitor General is not supposed to sign an agreement. I'm teaching you the law now.
But why is he a
I'm
signatory?
still-
He's
Alright.
a signatory
Excuse
of
me.
the
Mr. Long,
agreement.
Mr.
Excuse
Long,
me.
let Mr.
Why
Mweva
did they
say
make him
finish.
a
I'm telling
signatory?
you,
of
matters
Gentlemen.
of the,
Open that page
when
and
it comes
see.
to matters of, when it
A
comes to
signatory,
matters,
why did
Mr.
they
Long,
remove
let
it?
him
when
respond.
it comes to
I don't
matters,
accept that
Let
because
him
he has a
respond.
Let
document
me respond.
where Solicitor
Then
General
I'm
has not
explaining.
signed.
let him respond. Let him
I'm
explain.
explaining.
And
to
that's
you.
why they are not
When it comes
implementing
to
that
matters-
Mr. Long, let him respond.
When it
please.
comes to matters of classroom, I
Yes.
would accept that he will lecture me. But on matters of the law, I want to tell him that the agreement that is signed by the head of public service and witnessed by the chairperson, negotiation and consultative council is a very binding agreement. On the issue of Solicitor General, I'm teaching him that the Constitution does not provide as a Solicitor General or Attorney General signs on any agreement. What the Solicitor General does under the law is what we call clearance. It doesn't have, it's not a legal requirement that this agreement must be signed by the Solicitor General. Secondly, the agreement which the head of public service signs, he sits in cabinet, the ideas come from cabinet. These are not ideas of head of public service.
Yes.
These are ideas that come from cabinet, and then they are transferred from the cabinet to the council, and then they are actualized into an agreement. The secretary to cabinet representing government. So it is very wrong for you to say that the agreement was not carried by Solicitor General when it was agreed on and discussed in cabinet, where the Attorney General sits as the principal legal advisor of government. That is what you need to know. So
Now you need
the
to
issue.
you need
There's
to
one other
comment
aspect.
why
There's
they
one.
have not
There's one.
said.
There's one other aspect. He said that the agreement
Yes.
was not registered.
Yes.
My brother, the law is very clear. The labor disputes arbitration
Yes.
and negotiation and consultative council law which is an act of parliament, provides that non-registration
Yes.
of a recognition agreement and a collective agreement do not make the agreement in itself illegal. It's not a legal requirement that this agreement must be registered.
I have not
All
said
right.
it is
So,
illegal.
So,
for you to
gentlemen,
call
I
it,
have
for
not
you to
said
call
it
it,
is
There is a
illegal.
bit
You
of-
are misquoting me.
no,
Okay.
I'm not.
I said
We-
it is not fully signed.
So,
It is
Gentlemen.
not
So,
fully
my
signed.
brother, what
Government
I-
will
Gentlemen,
query.
gentlemen, kindly listen, please. I'm getting a lot of friction and disagreement, and it just goes to show that the two unions did not work collectively to make this happen. So I'm now asking my next question: what is being done to harmonize the situation? Because you both are teachers, and the children do.
It's a lawyer, I'm a teacher.
I understand, but you both represent unions that cater to the youth and school learners in this nation. So if there is no harmony between your unions, then how are you going to be able to impart do your job? Do you understand what I mean? So what is being done to harmonize this situation? Because I now see there's a lot of friction, and now the lines have been drawn. It's like more like battle lines now between sciences and arts. So what is being done to harmonize it?
Because he has been occupying the
All right,
stage
please.
on that.
Yes.
For us, we didn't have intention to register a union because we've not been in UNATO leadership.
All right.
UNATO leadership is predominantly dominated by primary teachers.
All right.
I can categorically say clearly they have marginalized the issue of secondary and post-primary teachers greatly, because by 2017 the salary of a art teacher was above that the salary of a primary teacher. Grade 3 was above that of a diploma diploma secondary teachers. Why? Because whenever you know to negotiate, they take more money to where they belong, because the leadership is from that side. This is very clear. We can provide proof from that salary structure. So when money in 2018, collective bargaining agreement phase 1 was honored, but the one of science teachers was fought by UNATO. I want to say it very clear, because they came up to declare industrial action. Government was very clear. They agreed phase 1 would be for scientists, for UPDF, for lower rank police. Then when it came for teachers, for them they single scientists in the education sector, when other scientists are already benefiting, and that thing hungered science teachers across the country.
Yes.
And I can say it clearly, whenever UNATO still put in pretext that they have science teachers they are representing, that is totally a lie, and it's not true. We have had it. I can say it clearly that all science teachers have left UNATO. They have signed the consent form with us, but there is a process. There is an exercise they have done to frustrate our coding. I can say it clearly. We have evidence. I've ever met with Pilbert in one of the meetings, because there are meetings that they have held up country, and the cows kept on calling us.
Yes.
The document he took there, and he was trying to hoodwink them that those members that already subscribing, not knowing that part of even the clause in this, why Solicitor General didn't sign, is illegal, because they are trying to put the thing of a levy.
Solicitor General.
A levy. UNATO conscripted most of the teachers in secondary.
Yes.
That conscription, like me personally, the chairperson of another union, I just stopped that. They are called in December after a petition, Means of Public Service. I have never signed the UNATO consent form to join UNATO, but I found their code in my payslip. And they have been stealing money from us in the name of a levy. And that thing went to Minister of Labor. My brother counsel may not know. I want to give you information before you respond. It went to Minister of Labor. Minister of Labor sought guidance from the Office of Attorney General, and they have already given a levy is illegal.
No.
It is illegal. It contravene the provision for freedom of association in the Mother Constitution. And as a senior lawyer, you should know that when a regulation is written in such a way that contradicts a mother constitution, then that becomes illegal.
Which article of the Constitution?
So,
That is Article 40,
No,
freedom
does
of
it say?
association,
No.
clause 3.
Mr. Mwebaza, please respond
No, I
to the
want to-
accusations.
Mr.
He's
Bra-
saying
my
that science
brother.
teachers are leaving UNATO, and UNATO is also frustrating the process for science teachers.
I want to
Would
ask
you
him. I
please
want to ask him a simple
And-
question.
Respond. Kindly respond, sir.
Please, my brother. What my brother is forgetting is actually confirming the biblical story that I started with. Being ungrateful to his mother union that has made him.
We have never been members.
Now,
I
why
have
am I
proof.
saying this?
You have my letter I wrote to
initially,
you. And
initially,
Mr. Mwebaza,
Initially-
he says that the science teachers have never been members of UNATO.
Most
no,
of
That's-
them-
this is what I,
Second,
this,
including
this, this, is
art
what,
teachers.
this is what I want to explain.
including art teachers,
This is
they
what-
conscripted them.
No, this give me a chance to explain.
Yes.
What I'm explaining is that initially, all the teachers, and I want to be very specific on the science teachers, you have ever benefited on what we call science teachers allowance. True or false?
Science teachers allowance.
Yes.
Science teachers
True or
allowance
false?
was allowance 30%.
True or
allowance for
false?
scientists.
Who negotiated it?
Did you negotiate for doctors?
Now, that allowance.
I'm asking him, did you negotiate for doctors? Did you negotiate for engineers? Did you negotiate
Give
for,
me a chance to-
for,
give me-
for,
give me-
for
give me-
these other scientists
give me
in
a
other
chance-
sector?
give me a chance to
That
explain.
was a directive that gives scientists
my brother,
30% top
my
up
brother.
work allowance for the work they do.
All right, Mr.
Madam
Long.
Moderator, I
Yes.
request
So I don't
that,
want
I request
to-
that
Mr.
we
Long,
be
let him-
civil.
let him-
I
yes.
request that because
Kindly-
when he
kindly
was
respond,
talking,
Mr.
I
Mwebaza.
listened to him.
Yes.
I request that let us be civil.
All right.
Let us be civil. Let us have a civil debate.
All right, Mr. Mwebaza, please
Now,
respond
And
for the
also, I
sake
want
of
you to
time.
give the public a right information.
Yes, Mr. Long, he's good. Let him respond.
What you have forgotten is that the science teachers allowance, they had to reach allowance for teachers who are teaching in very far.
Talk
and
about
had to
science
reach-
teachers allowance.
No, excuse me.
Yes.
Can you please listen to me? Like I listened to you.
Mr. Long, let him respond.
You don't have monopoly over
No,
information.
vis-a-vis, talk
Yes.
about
Mr.
science
Long,
teacher allowance,
Mr.
vis-a-vis
Mr. Long.
allowance
If you are
for
not-
other scientists.
Mr. Long,
Okay, let
kindly,
me let him talk if he doesn't want me to talk. Just listen to
Please,
me. When
please.
I finish, you will respond.
Please respond.
The science teachers' allowance, they had to reach and stay allowance were negotiated together by Uganda National Teachers Union. What my brother needs to know, he has just jumped into the negotiating
Not
table.
just jumping.
Mr. Long,
He has
please.
just jumped into the negotiating table. His union was registered just last year.
No. You see how
So,
you are lying.
Mr. Long.
So, after
him
registering
respond.
his union, that's now he jumps into things
Okay.
without knowing the background. Uganda National Teachers Union started existing more than 15 years ago.
All right.
And in all these years, Uganda National Teachers Union has been negotiating. He says we are very selfish.
Okay,
How do you call us?
talk about the
Mr.
level
Long,
call
as
us?
a lawyer.
Mr. Long.
How do you call us selfish people when we negotiated that the science teacher should get these huge sums of money, which are reflected in the collective bargaining agreement, and you call us selfish people? This is what I'm saying.
But Mr. Mwebaza, you did not answer the question I asked. He said that science teachers
No, I'm
are
coming.
not part of UNATO.
I'm coming.
So
I'm
is that
coming.
true
I'm
or
coming
false?
to that. I'm coming to that. Now, what he says that science teachers are not part of UNATO, it is true. Some are not.
Not some.
How many?
Excuse me.
By what percentage?
How do you
Not
join?
many?
How
some.
do you join?
We have so many forms
Mr.
that they
Long.
are signed for illegal
Excuse
deduction.
me.
Mr. Long.
And that code
Mr.
is
Long.
already being
Excuse me.
rejected.
Let me
Mr. Long,
explain.
but how many are part of UNATO? How many science teachers
Now,
are
I want
part
to
of
give him
UNATO?
statistics.
Yes.
Uganda National Teachers Union has currently a membership of over 120,000 members.
Okay.
Our
how many of those are
membership-
science teachers?
Our membership has the following categories. One, we have members who are from the primary sector.
Yes.
We have members who are from post-primary. We have members who are from gov't institutions. All those are members. And recently, we had the elections. And in these elections that we had, all the categories of teachers were represented in the leadership structure of Uganda National Teachers
Mr.
Union.
Mwebaza, how many science teachers are in UNATO?
the current statistics that we have, the science teachers in the whole country so far, they are not more than 500,000. They are not more than 5,000.
But how many are in UNATU?
We have over 2,000 members.
Science teachers?
Yes.
All right. Okay, moving forward. In
another
the interest of
question.
time.
We have
Another
over 2,000
question.
members.
Mr. Long, Mr.
Those 2,000, do they have consent form
Now, let me come to the
from
issue.
them?
Let me come to that.
do they
Mr.
have
Long,
consent
Mr.
form?
Let me come
Mwebeze,
to
for
that
the
issue.
interest of
Yes.
time,
Let me come to that issue.
for the interest of time, I'm sorry to cut you short. Moving forward, government requested to meet with UNATU this Friday.
Yes.
Yes, today.
Actually, the
Yes,
meeting
yes.
has been postponed till tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. So what are you hoping to achieve with this sit down with government?
What we are hoping to achieve, but I would request that you allow me to first clear the legal aspect he has brought that we have
All right, briefly, sir.
forced members into Illinois. He needs
Which is very true, because we have evidence.
We have no time.
written
Let
to
me
UNATU,
explain.
General Secretary,
Mr. Long, let
and
him speak.
he confirmed that
Please.
they don't have consent
Mr.
form,
Elong,
Excuse me.
let
and
Mr.
some of the members they have
Mr.
been brought to the
Long.
court.
In law, this is what I want to tell him. We have been negotiating for over 10 years. And in a way, all teachers in this country have benefited from the negotiations of Uganda National
That's
Teachers
true.
Union. True and granted.
Now you bring
and
the
the law
law part.
provides the
Which law?
The labor union statutory instrument number 60 of 2011.
That one is a regulation. I told you it already contradicts
if you
some
could-
other
if you
law.
could let me
And the
explain.
Solicitor General has given a
Where is
guidance
the legal
that
opinion? Do you have it here?
I have it.
Give it
I
to
have it. I'm going to send to you.
Send
I
it
will
to me
even
here.
send to her.
Eh?
He
Send it
has
to me.
given a guidance
Which says
that the unions who are conscripting members on the basis of a law,
There's nobody who has been
a
conscripted.
levy
So-
should stop it.
so-
They wrote to all secretary
So-
generals of unions,
What I'm
and
saying,
UNATU has a copy of
what
that
I'm saying,
letter.
what I'm saying is that there's nobody
Go
who
and
has
ask
been-
your secretary
Mr.
general
Long,
for a copy.
who has been forced to join a labor union. We are arrived to the fact that joining a labor union is a fundamental
forceful.
right. Is a
It's
fundamental
forceful.
right. and
Mr.
it is
Long, let him
free.
finish, yes.
It is free. A person is supposed to join freedom, but you need to know that it is even an international principle under the international law that if a labor union negotiates, if a labor union negotiates like we are negotiating now, and you end up a beneficiary of the negotiations of that labor union, you are supposed to pay for what we call a levy. And in that levy, in the Labor Unions Act, Parliament delegated the responsibility to the minister in charge of labor to come up with regulations to actualize how you pay a levy to the labor union that has negotiated. And in 2011, the minister responsible for labor came up with a regulation and said that a member who benefits from the negotiations of a labor union is supposed to pay 1% levy to that labor union that has negotiated for him or her. And
All
that
right,
is what that is what these members who did not fill forms, that is what they have been paying the labor to.
It is not a monthly subscription,
All right, gentlemen.
and you must seek consent from that member.
All
That's
right,
the guidance.
thank you.
It is
11.
supposed to
Thank
be
you.
deducted
My
once,
brother, no.
but for you, you have made
Excuse
it a
me.
monthly
11.
subscription, which is theft and fraudulent.
All right, Mr. Long, Mr.
Mwebeze.
Mwebeze.
It's not
Mr.
supposed to be.
Mwebeze.
It is once, it
Parting
is a
shots.
deduction once, and you stop it.
All right,
But
then.
you have made it a monthly
Gentlemen,
subscription,
please,
which
please,
makes members
Can we
of...
please be civil, please? Kindly. Parting shots in the interest of time, Mr. Mwebeze, I asked you what
Now,
you hope to achieve with the meeting and
We have a
sit down with
meeting.
government
We have a
tomorrow.
meeting with the actually it's not. It's a meeting with the president.
All right. So what do you hope to achieve?
We hope to that government will really implement the collective bargaining agreement like the way we negotiated, and even these members also get what they are supposed to get. And for us, like what I want to state categorically here, Uganda National Teachers Union, we stand for the principles of equality and fairness. And even when we reach on the negotiation table, when we say a collective bargaining agreement should be implemented, we are not going to say that even the science teachers should not get what is in the agreement. We shall still say they should get it because these are our children, all of them. And I want to call upon my brother, chairman, Uganda Science Teachers Union, please don't be like the Israelites.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mwebeze. Mr. Long,
Please
your parting
remember
shots.
where you have come from.
Your parting shots, Mr. Long.
My message to teachers, I want them not to be hoodwinked by UNATU, because they have failed to negotiate for teachers. They signed an agreement which they talked about in 2018, and they are even ashamed to bring it in 2020. An agreement which was supposed to last for 5 years, and it is expiring in July, and they have never, there is no proof from 2019 that UNATO has ever written to government urging them to from 2019 from 2019
the proof
July,
is here before
July.
It says more
Yes.
rights. It is here.
Until of recent,
Yes.
until of recent, after science teachers have succeeded
Let me give
to
him
push
the,
for their
let
salary.
me give him the proof in the studio.
So
That is the proof.
it is conceived it is ill conceived, and we are looking at it that it will not succeed because we are done with the budgeting process.
Now this is the most.
They are just confusing it,
Yes.
the nation, and disorganizing the school.
All right.
So teachers should disregard them and go back to class.
This is the
Government has already communicated in a council meeting that they have already prepared
All right.
salary enhancement for other groups who are left behind, and Minister of Finance is working for it for the next financial year. And we know that you not want to show that they are the one who negotiated for it. They are just opportunists. People should disregard them. Government will enhance salary for
Those are
others
strong words,
in the next
Mr. Long.
financial
Those
year.
are very strong words. But my hope is that UNATO and Uganda Professional Teachers Union can sit down together and harmonize, because the both of you are very important to building this nation, and it trickles down to the students. So I hope that you can come together, and this drift between arts and science teachers does not get in the way of that, because of the
It is not. It is UNATO projecting that, but there is no
Mr.
grip
Long,
between
Mr.
us.
Long, thank you so
There is
much.
no that grip.
Well,
it is
thank you
UNATO
so-
projecting.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me right here on the show on the Twitter Jabs on Sunrise at Sea. But the conversation continues, and CTV will be following this story very, very closely and be bringing you any updates. Mr. Mwebeze, I wish you all the best, and I hope that you get the answers that you are hoping for when you sit down with the president tomorrow. Well, coming up is Hit or Miss with Priva and Agnes, and they'll be talking about the latest trends in fashion. This is Sunrise at Sea. Don't blink.